Hi coffee beans! How's it brewing? Today I'll be showing you how to make a gorgeous layered doll wig. With this technique you could use multiple colors or one single color to create a wig out of artificial doll hair. Some of you may be familiar with Mosekito's amazing yarn wigs. I've used her technique to make a few yarn wigs myself, but my more recent dolls have been artificial doll hair instead of yarn. Now I'm addicted to the feeling of doll hair, but the rerooting process takes forever. So why not combine Mosekito's yarn wig method with synthetic doll hair? For this project, I'll be using Nylon Doll hair from the Doll Planet in Pink Floyd, Ziggy Stardust, and Espeon. I'll put the entire materials list and links below. To get started, I need to make the wig cap, or the piece that the hair wefts will be glued onto. I cut the toe off of my daughter's sock. Isn't this sock cute? It's the perfect thin, stretchy fabric to fit over this doll's head. I stretched a piece of saran wrap over the doll's head to protect the vinyl from the glue. Then I stretched the sock over the head, careful to smooth out all the wrinkles. I wrapped a rubber band around her neck to secure the sock. Then I took a small plastic hairband and placed it around the head near where the hairline should be. I felt for the eyes and ears and adjusted the rubber band where it seemed right. Then I used the Crafter's Pick fabric glue, poured it all over the head, and brushed it on with a paintbrush I didn't mind ruining. I used Crafter's Pick because it's white but dries clear, so it's easy to tell if it's dry. Fabri-Tac glue is my favorite, but not for this task. You don't have to use fabric glue either. I've used regular white glue in the past for my yarn wigs, but I wanted to have the option to boil wash this hair if I wanted to, so waterproof fabric glue was the only option. Make sure you let the glue dry completely between each layer. I painted on 4 layers of glue. Paint on as many layers as you're patient enough to do, but enough that the wig cap is flexible enough to fit on and off the head, and firm enough that it doesn't collapse on itself. Once it's finally dry, I remove the wig cap from the head. Then, using sharp hair scissors, I cut away the bottom of the sock, just above the rubber band. If you need to, you can easily and slowly trim away the excess, but be careful you don't cut away too much. It's a perfect fit! Now's the time to make the wefts. I took some spare cardboard and wrapped it in aluminum foil. The easiest way to do this is to take a small portion of the hair and spread it gently onto the foil. I used some water in a spray bottle to gently dampen the hair to keep it from flying away, and I brushed it out to try and keep it even. Then I used the Crafter's Pick fabric glue and applied a thin line on the edge of the hair. Then I brushed the glue out, sort of pressing it down into the hair fibers to spread it out evenly. I let this dry completely before peeling it up and applying another thin layer of glue to the other side. Then, after it's dry, I cut the raw edge of the glue off with sharp scissors. This creates the weft that will be glued onto the wig cap. Repeat this process with all of your hair. Be as gentle and patient as you can. I accidentally rushed some of my wefts and lost a bit of hair in the process. Now to start gluing the wefts on. I wanted my wig to have pink on the bottom, blue in the middle, and purple on top. I used Fabri-Tac for the wefts because it's clear, super sticky, and dries fast. It's my BFF. I found it was easiest to glue from the bottom up, so I glued a pink weft at the bottom, and as I got closer to the ears and temple area, I switched to blue. Then I added purple at the top, careful to leave space for the part. And the part was the most difficult for me, and I had to restart several times. Again, because I'm too impatient, I kept messing with it before it was fully dried. I lined up a purple weft at the middle and glued it down in the opposite direction to the other wefts. I let this dry for over an hour. I had to walk away and do something else around the house to stop myself from messing with it. Then I flipped it over and secured it with a clip. Flipping it like this covers the glue and creates one side of the part. Then I lightly applied painter's tape onto that weft to protect it from the glue, and applied the other weft in the same manner. I lined it up really carefully and glued it down in the opposite direction to the other wefts. For this one, I pushed it as gently but firmly as I could toward the other weft to create the tight part line. I don't want the wig cap to show in between the hair. Finally, I came back when it was dry and clipped the wefts in the right direction to create the part. Don't be fooled by my footage, the part took me a long time to perfect. I filled in some of the empty spots with smaller pieces of hair, and I spread the wefts out with a toothpick and pinned them in place with more bobby pins and clips to let it dry in the right spot. With all the wefts glued into place and dry, I used a low-temp flat iron to set the part and tame the crazy flyaways. Make sure you test a small piece of synthetic doll hair before you apply the heat. It's entirely possible it'll melt and ruin all of your hard work. I could have left the hair like this because it's so pretty straight, but I really wanted to curl these into gorgeous Lolita-style curls. A lot of doll customizers have used metal chopsticks to curl the hair, or straws secured with pins and boiling water to create curls. But 1, I didn't have metal chopsticks, and 2, I could not get the hair to stay secured around my straws. So I had to figure out another way to make these curls. What I finally came up with was to wrap a paintbrush in aluminum foil, so it would act kind of like a normal hair curling iron. Then I wrapped the hair around the brush, holding the bottom so it didn't unwind. Then I pressed the hair in between the flat iron to set the curl. Curl the hair all in one direction so that it all curls nicely together and doesn't get tangled. Using small clips, I separated the purple into one section, the blue into another section, and then I curled each color in small pieces. Curling the hair was also really tricky for me, mainly because I had planned on using the straw and boiling water method, and I messed up a lot, but I finally managed to get the curls that I wanted. The key was to do a spiral of hair down the paintbrush and not tight curls with the hair wound on top of itself. This creates loose curls instead of really tight curls. Now that the curls are all done, I very slowly and carefully separated each curl. Don't use a brush or you'll end up with a big frizzy mess. This is optional, but you could spray these curls with watered down hairspray of your choice. But because it's synthetic, it should hold the curls just fine, not like normal human hair. And it's all done! These are so gorgeous! It reminds me of cotton candy or shaved ice. I love these curls because you can curl all the colors together to create a more elegant, put-together hairstyle, also very Lolita. Or you can separate all of the curls alone and it's much more bouncy and full. What do you think? Do you have any other methods for doll hair that you love? Let me know in the comments below, or share your creations with me on Instagram at BunnieDIY, and I'll give you a shout out on my next video. I'd really love to see what you've made. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe by clicking the little bell, so you don't miss any future videos. I post every Monday. Next week's going to be a really relaxing diamond painting video. Thanks for all of your support, everyone. I hope you're all staying home and staying safe. See you next week. Love you a latte.